Now I'm taking a break from my legal stuff real quick, but I'm gonna do a video instead of live. But now just check this out. A lot of people will say my policies and some won't, or politics or however you want to put it. And that's everyone's opinion, all right? So I just hope that if you ain't got nothing else to say, you won't say nothing to me at all. But anyways, everything. If we talk about prison reform, positive prison reform, okay? I'm just saying, and we understand, we know, prison is not society. But one point that I'm really just trying to make here, so I'm going to try to keep it simply to the point, is that prison may not be society, but the vast majority of those that are in prison have a pro day, a T day, whatever you want to call it. So maybe not all of them eventually get out, but the majority should, it seems like. So with that being said, I'm just saying, what do I, I'm just saying, what do I look, or anybody, being a short guy, I'm 5'4.5", 5'5", 170 pounds, some of that, I'm a little bitty dude, you know what I'm saying? What do I, with we'll say a 2-year sentence in prison, look like being housed in a cell 24 hours a day, or we'll say 23 and 1, or however you want to put it, to make it technically legal, even though they BS, so it's not really that. But anyways, the thing is that what do I look like being a little bitty guy going in a cell with a 6'3", 250-pound guy? I mean, and I've had conversations with guys, little guys, big guys, thugs, that's been in prison, whatnot, maybe it's not been in prison, but in the streets, whatever, okay, cool, maybe they've reformed, whatever, and even the big guys want to tell me something like, well, really don't matter how big or small you are if you can fight, you know what I'm saying? Little dudes whoop big dudes all the time, and true that, yes, but what does a little bitty dude really look like be going in a cell with a big old dude, and that little dude got short time, and that big dude's got life without on a murder charge? That dude ain't got nothing to lose by killing me. But if I kill that man, even if it's so-called self-defense pursuant to the law, which I've seen people kill people in prison. Like, I've seen a fight one time where two dudes got in a fight. They were smoking deuce, you know what I'm saying? So one dude, they just got in a fight. It's high, you know what I'm saying? Dude freaking hit the dude. Nobody was trying to kill anybody, and the guy fell, hit his freaking head, and died. Well, that dude didn't catch a capital murder charge. He didn't catch, a life sentence. I do think he caught like 20 or 30 years on 100%, though. Now, he's still young. He's like my age, so, but he'll be old by the time he does get out. That's not a life sentence, and it may not equal a life sentence, but it's a long time. And that wasn't even intentional murder. You see what I'm saying? Dude just accidentally died. So, then, of course, I'm sure some people can be in prison, kill somebody intentionally, whatever, catch life sentences or whatever, or they may accidentally kill somebody or something. Then they may only get 10, 20 years, you know what I'm saying, and whatever. So, they may not be there forever is what I'm saying on that note. But regardless, this man has a lot of time in prison, the rest of his life. He ain't got nothing to lose by killing anybody. And I have everything to lose that if I'm put in that situation and I'm put in that cell and this all happens and goes south and I'm a little bitty dude, the question is, yeah, I might be able to beat that big old dude. He might not kill me, but it's a possibility that he does. And then if this is prison, who's to say that he's got a knife, he don't have a knife, let alone if I don't have a knife? You see what I'm saying? So if in society we have laws, or fighting is regulated, MC, MMA, UFC, whatever you call it, shit, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's regulated. You put a welterweight with a weatherweight with the welterweight, a welterweight with the welterweight, heavyweight with a heavyweight. Now, of course, I guess, I don't know if that's just like wrestling and not actual fighting, but they have disability matches and all of that there, and I really don't know, but it's regulated is what I'm saying. So now, if you have a classification system in a penitentiary, and then they got to go by federal and even state, regulations for the classification of offenders, and the classification says I had a whole, man, when the police stole my property, dog, I had a whole bunch of reforms and politics or policies, you know what I'm saying, that I don't know how to do this, and this is why it's so bad. I really, man, I'm not going to say nothing bad about Jimmy McGill, but, man, really, man, I really kind of wanted to go to, my mom talked to that dude before I got out of prison, that when I get out, man, I got my parole transfer all the way down here from Washington County, Fayetteville, Arkansas, back down here to Clarksville, just to get in the next step once I got out of prison. You see what I'm saying? If it may deny me twice, then follow. Well, I mean, I did go back and then like I say, I was working, so like I caught a DWI and everything, and I tried to get into his rehab, but I tried to keep my job, and he wasn't trying to do that because of a medication I take. Now, and I understand the politics there regarding next step and his medications, and I'm really off of left field. But yet now this man, he gets on here blatantly speaking that he takes medications. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, and then it's all a whole bunch of BS. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And so I wasn't trying to lose my job and go to the next, or they was going to send me to Conway for 30 days and then come back. Well, by then I ain't got a job. You know what I'm saying? But then it was like, you know, 2-3 months later or whatever, I lost my job and I wound up going to another rehab, a Christian rehab, Life and Victory Recovery Center, Baltimore, Arkansas. But regardless, but this man knows how to go up there before, like, Congress and stuff, petition these people, this, that, the other. I don't know nothing about this. He got a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, he fights drugs and alcohol. I ain't got that fight against me. I fight the police. It's like, I forget the Latin saying it, but it's like ipsis la custodians, or something like that. Like, who's gonna police the police? You know what I'm saying? Police ain't policing themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? The police are gonna police this. I feel like it's our duty to police the police. But, you know, I ain't got the money. I ain't got none of that to, you know, be an auditor, you know what I'm saying? Because if I did, then maybe, you know, I'd be like the Random Patriot or Accountability for All or somebody like that and audit these police and take the risk of going to jail, asserting and defending my rights, you know what I'm saying? File, you know, beating that in court, filing lawsuits and getting money off of it, you know what I'm saying, and exposing them. But I ain't got the much means to do that, and I'm not really trying to put myself in a predicament where I wind back up in jail, you know what I'm saying? But I'm way off left field. My whole point here is that if you got vice regulated out here in the streets and you know violence prison can be a violent place, then what are you doing putting people? I had a whole freaking thing, man, where I'm not going to get into it all in this video, but man, I got a whole reclassification of offenders and how all of this can work out, blah, 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 so I can petition Congress or whatever, and maybe, man, I don't know, but I do know one thing. So there's no sense in a little bitty guy being put in a cell with a big old dude, and there's no sense in short-timers being in a prison or at least on the same yard or in the same cell as somebody with a life sentence, because you put them at risk, and then by putting their lives at risk, you know, in order to live, then they have to freaking kill maybe, and then now they're in prison for the rest of their lives. Now they ain't got nothing to lose, but they had everything to lose, and maybe they have wife and kids at the house. It's just saying, you know, I'm not trying to make prison weaker or PC or nothing like that. You know, anybody can say whatever they want to say, but, you know, we're supposed to be men, we're supposed to be hard, we're supposed to be thugs, you know, whatever, and yeah, okay, cool, but man, I'm really past that stage, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to chill, man. I'm just trying to do good. I'm trying to get a life for myself, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be successful in my endeavors in life, which is educating the public, you know, petitioning Congress, whatever, you maybe get my records expunged, you know, and I'm just saying, holding the police accountable, educating the public. But that's just one thing that I kind of wanted to speak out real quick, because I'm taking a break from my lawsuit for a little bit. And so, yeah, man, I got I had like this notepad right here, this notepad right here, it's pretty much full with all kinds of notes, like, you know what I'm saying, there's legal notes, I got legal notes, I got all kinds of stuff up here, I got goals and plans, got bills, I got stuff on psychology, this is all about computer science and building a website, and I got stuff up in here talk about, you know what I'm saying, whole, breakdown of, you know, what do you call it, like, what do you call that, post-production of, like, video editing and stuff, and break it down, the whole Adobe Pro and stuff like that, so I can go do that in my own time and stuff. So I got my own projects, but my biggest projects is my lawsuit. So I just do this stuff, like, as a passing of time on the side, you know what I'm saying, until I get past my lawsuits and do my lawsuits. I got 2 main ones. I got one small one. It's going to be easy, but I got to do this one first. So I'm going to be filing it in February, so I'm trying to get all the legwork, everything done before I get there, so I can just get straight into litigation. But that's just one of the things, and like, man, I want to do a podcast and stuff. I want to do video editing, content creation, like, I want to do production, like short films, like, documentary types things, you know what I'm saying? I want to do stuff like, making presentations and have my little picture up here and breaking it down through my presentation in the inner. Well, I got big stuff that I want to do eventually in life, but I'm nowhere near it, and is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get there hopefully eventually, even if I gotta wing it till I get there, and then maybe I can figure that along the way. But yeah, I'm not trying to waste too much of your time today, but that was just one point I don't want to try to make. That you got fights out here in society regulated and stuff, but then you got a so-called classification of offenders, this, that, the other, but then people really ain't classified because I could be 2-year sentence, and then I have a bad institutional jacket, so you got me high risk, maximum security, in the supermax, whatever, and I don't even got a life sentence. I ain't got no murders under my belt. I'm not in prison for no murder, you know what I'm saying? But now I wind up being in a cell with a murderer, you know what I'm saying, doing the rest of his life, and I only got a 2-year sentence, you know what I'm saying? Just saying. Like, and then he's a big old dude, and I'm a little bitty dude, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. But that's just one scenario. Like, you should house people that have similar charges. You should classify it all in similar charges, and not only with similar charges, but similar times. And then if you're doing like cells and like double man cells and stuff, then yeah, you should have people with similar charges with around the same size group doing around the same amount of time. You know what I'm saying? That's how you need to reclassify offenders and things of that nature. Because prison can be violent. You know what I'm saying? That dude might not have nothing to lose by killing me. He's going to be here for the rest of his life anyways. But if I kill him, now I'm facing legal ramifications, possibly the rest of my freaking life. Or otherwise, I'm just a dead person, and he's just, you know, whatever. I just got no life sentence, whatever. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? My family and my friends out here mourning and grieving me. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. And then that's another thing on the news, and it's sad. But that's all I want to say, simply put. Sorry for your, any inconvenience. I don't know. I'm not good with this. But anyways.